This video is sponsored by Surfshark.
I'm a sellout.
Ow. God, that hurt my throat.
Hi. I cut my bangs. They're a little short this time. I don't know, man. I saw Lady Gaga at the award show and I was like, well, that's my fate. Get out the scissors. All right, let's just get right into it. Ella Enchanted is a movie from 2004, and the movie is absolutely insane. It's one of those movies that makes you feel like you're on shrooms while watching it. Like, what's happening? What era are we in? Did I really just see ogre butt crack?
Oh my god! What is that?
Like, that butt crack is huge. That thing could swallow me. I loved this movie as a kid, and rewatching it was definitely an interesting thing. I think a lot of us haven't watched it since we watched it as kids, so grab a snack, sit down and relax, and try not to think about that ogre's butt crack, as Doxie Carter proudly presents video title here. Yeah, I still haven't figured out what to call the video. But I'll probably change the title 4 times anyways after I post it, so here we go. Oh, and also my name's Carter. I forgot to say that. Ella Enchanted is the most un-Cinderella-like Cinderella story that probably exists. So at the beginning of the story, Ella is just a baby, and her fairy godmother shows up to bless her with a gift.
Lucinda here. Fairy par excellence.
And Lucinda takes Ella in her arms and she starts crying because, you know, baby cry. And Lucinda is immediately annoyed with her.
Quiet, please. I can't concentrate here.
And so she decides to give Ella the gift of obedience.
Now go to sleep. Wake up. Isn't it wonderful?
What? That's a horrible gift. In some aspects. On one obvious hand, this is a living nightmare. Not being able to say no to anybody, well, let's just say there are many people that would take advantage of this, and none of them are bears. On the other hand, it's the ultimate hack for neurodivergence. You can literally just have somebody tell you to focus. Can you imagine how much shit you would get done? Somebody could just tell me, you need to stop gaming, quit the addiction of Marvel Rivals, and I could leave that game alone forever. And my mental health would never be better. I mean, think about it. Somebody could just tell me, no, don't kill yourself, just be happy. And it would actually work that time. I low-key want this to be a real thing, but also not, because the thing on the other obvious hand. The whole time this is happening upstairs with Ella and Lucinda, Ella's father is looking for job postings downstairs in the medieval newspaper. The job postings are right next to the Lonely Heart ads. A good-looking professional elf seeking a similar. Slim, attractive elf at any age. At any age? Has to be slim? Please, I don't care if you're 103 as long as you're skinny, I want you. Hollywood, be so serious right now. No wonder you paid for an ad for yourself in the Lonely Hearts page. No wonder nobody wants your ass. I really hate this elf, for real. They go through her life and kind of explain how the spell works. If somebody told her, bite me, she would actually bite them. A setup for many goofy and silly scenarios Ella gets herself into later. But like I said, this is a Cinderella story, so yeah. I mean, her mom's gonna die. Which is terrible, but inevitable.
No matter what anyone says or tells you to do, look to yourself, Ella. What's inside you is stronger than any spell.
Gee, that was specific. I wonder if that will come back later. Also, her mom commands her to never tell anyone that she has the gift of obedience. It's kind of important. Oh, hold that thought, it's time for today's sponsor. Sometimes, Netflix is a friend. They have many great things to watch like Squid Game and Queen's Gambit. But sometimes, Netflix is the enemy because they don't have Ella Enchanted. This is a big problem. What am I supposed to do when I can't watch a silly, goofy movie from my childhood so I can turn my brain off from thinking about, well, anything? But luckily, I don't have to think. Because of Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN, a virtual public network, which means I can click a few buttons, set my location to Canada, and boom, Ella Enchanted is right there, available to watch, along with thousands of other things. The possibilities are endless. But Surfshark is for more than just watching movies. A VPN protects your data, keeps hackers out of your business, and can block ads. Because who wants to see another ad? Yeah, sorry. So if you want to unlock way more movies and shows, or just keep your internet history your business, use Surfshark. They're offering an exclusive deal. Go to surfshark.com/Doxie for 4 extra months free. Thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to it. Flash forward a few years, and Ella is now the beautiful and talented Anne Hathaway. And oh my god, her hair in this movie is so good. Like, it's Topanga level beautiful. I just wanna like wrap it around me and take a nap in it and wake up next to Anne Hathaway. Would just be a plus in that situation if I'm already wrapped around in her hair, you know? And now she has 2 stepsisters and a stepmother.
My precious Hattie, and my special Olive.
And when I looked at them for the first time, I was like, okay, when does this take place? Because now I'm confused. This movie has no idea what time period it is. And I kind of love it. Look at Olive and Hattie. I mean, they're wearing the perfect fusion of like Renaissance and Y2K. It's like when a theater company takes too much liberty with a show. Like somewhere out there's a college theater program that's putting on Phantom of the Opera, but they decided to make it take place in a diner in the 1980s. And everyone's on roller skates for some reason, and they're also trains. Oh wait, that's Starlight Express. It's not just the outfits that are not accurate. Oh no. The narrator is a 50-year-old newspaper boy who's riding a bicycle. Those didn't exist back then. Bicycles didn't exist then, but neither did escalators or hot dog stands. The set kind of like gives off a Renaissance fair vibe instead of an actual kingdom. I spotted a 4 Seasons in the movie at some point. A 4 Seasons? Come on. None of that wimpy fancy shit. Back in my day, you used to go to an old-fashioned tavern, get a drink of ale, get beat up by the drunkards there, stay the night, and wake up with a new flesh-eating disease that'll kill you in 5 days. But the most unrealistic part of medieval times that they add to the movie is the fact that there are political debate classes for women.
To exile all non-human creatures to the forest, keeping their land for himself.
This isn't just a movie about love and fluffy stuff and romance. No. This movie is about political corruption, and our ingenue of the story is actually a woke liberal queen.
You know, Char and his uncle are responsible for the segregation of the kingdom.
So?
She is a punk-ass bitch and is totally against Sir Edgar. Oh my god. Is that the guy from Princess Bride and Robin Hood Men in Tights and Twister? And Liar Liar, and Saw 2, and The Cat's Return, and she's also against the soon-to-be king, Prince Char. It's Hugh Dancy. And we basically find out that after an ogre murdered Prince Char's dad, who was the king, all non-humans were exiled or forced into slavery.
It's only 3 because we've enslaved the poor creatures and they're forced to work for nothing.
Oh, he's a really bad guy. And hey, I mean, just by looking at Sir Edgar, yeah. It's not surprising that he's evil. I don't think they hide it. And also he has an evil snake.
Yes.
That literally does nothing for the whole movie. Snakes being evil in every fantasy movie is so funny because what are snakes gonna do? They sleep 16 to 22 hours out of the day. These bitches aren't doing crime. They're doing time. In their pile of leaves. They're sleeping. Hashtag leave snakes alone. Hashtag snakes just need a nap. Hashtag stop the stigma around snakes. So Prince Char is having his coronation soon, meaning that he's going to become the king. And already you have Sir Edgar just spewing racist shit.
In your absence, the ogres have become impossible.
Like, ogres are evil. They don't pay taxes.
Even the giants have become more and more treacherous.
And Prince Char is like the most oblivious guy ever, the whole movie.
The giants have always been peaceful.
Like, how does he not get the vibe that Prince Edgar is just weird as He's like, no, I love my uncle. He's a good guy. I don't get the Lord Farquaad jokes. He's over 5 feet, guys. Because they want to get like on the good side of the kingdom, they go into different parts of the kingdom.
The shape goes into a shape press that presses the shape into a pressed shape.
So the people can learn to trust us. What's not to trust? Nothing.
See, it's really important to get a cult-like following before you become in power, because then the corruption will be a lot easier.
Please save me, Donald Trump, please.
They make their way to the town of Frel, where Ella lives, and Ella does not hesitate.
Say no to Overside! Stop the giant land grab!
Yes! Say no to ogrecide. I stand with ogres too. Just because one ogre killed the king, all of them have to be deported and are criminals? How many white men do you think have killed their king in this magical fairy tale land, huh? And I know what you guys are really here for. The romance. Duh, that's what I'm here for. What do you think I play Baldur's Gate for? The combat? Get real. But what kind of romance is it? Is it like any other Cinderella story where they fall in love and then he spends the last half of the movie trying to find the owner of the glass slipper, aka touching other women's feet? Yeah. I'm on to you, Prince Charming. No feet action in this movie. Ella's stepsister like immediately clocks that something is wrong with Ella, and she figures out her curse without her saying anything. So she orders her to go home while she's protesting because Olive is the president of the Prince Char fan club.
I love you, Prince Char!
Hi guys, it's me. I'd like to make a sincere apology to everyone watching, as well as the character Hattie, because I called her Olive every single time in this video. So, if you can find it in your heart to forgive me, I appreciate it. And also, feel free to unsubscribe.
Are you a fast runner?
Not particularly, no. Why?
Prince Char is also running from the fan club, and then they meet where two roads turn into one. Why is he running alone from these fangirls? Like, doesn't he have knights? Isn't he gonna be the king? Anyways, Ella makes it very clear to Prince Char that she's a single independent woman who doesn't need a man.
Allow me.
Don't need your chivalry. Thanks. And I've no intention of curtsying either, so forget it.
Like, she doesn't give a fuck about him.
You're the first maiden I've met who hasn't swooned at the sight of me.
Oh, brother. Here we go. So he's that kind of guy, huh?
Perhaps that's why I find your obvious disdain for me so refreshing.
Obvious. I was trying so hard to hide it.
Yeah, so it's like a love-hate relationship. Char immediately loves her, and Ella hates his royal guts and perfect smile.
You are not like other girls.
Hold on. This is the only time I'll accept this statement, because she just stood in front of a reckless carriage driver and almost got killed because he told her to wait right there, and she had to wait right there. So he was like, hey, why didn't you move? So to be fair, it is a little baffling and confusing, and in that way, she is not like other girls. Would you guys be shocked if I said I was only 20 minutes into the movie? It was a lot of background. I'm sorry. I needed to get through it, okay? I had to clarify some stuff. But don't worry, this is where the story picks up. Her sister found out about her curse, so she abuses that power of knowing so hard that she makes her steal and get arrested and then be racist to her friend.
Tell her that you never want to see her again. Tell her you could never be friends with an Aorthian.
And like has her break up with her friend. Yeah, Olive,
Every single time.
she's a loser. So Ella's like, cut the cameras, I'm done. So she goes to find her godmother, Lucinda, to try to break the curse. And her house fairy gives her a book. And the book is actually her boyfriend.
My boyfriend, Benny.
Hey!
Benny, because she's not good at magic, and then she transformed him into a book, and then just kept him on the shelf. Like, I guess he was okay with that, but I personally, I would not be okay with that. But then at that point, you're a prisoner. Like, you have no way out. You just have to be a book.
I would have left her ages ago, except I love her so darn much, plus I have no legs.
And it's kind of crazy that she didn't even like try to turn him back human. She was just like, oops, my bad. Guess you just have to be that way forever now. In the book, you can see pictures of any information that you want to, so she uses that to try to find Lucinda. And on her journey out, she finds this.
What do you think you're doing to that poor elf?
Oh, who's this who thinks she's so tough?
There's a scene that is very similar to this in Baldur's Gate.
We got here another little birdie wanting to fly. Stop this thing!
I did not do the right lever to get him down. This story kind of is like Dungeons and Dragons that way. She just keeps collecting people and creatures to come with her on this journey. But she saves this elf Slannon. And so he's like, I'm gonna take you to dinner. And she's like, no. And he's like, yes, you have to. And she's like, I have to. So they go through Elf Town, and this is where the most traumatizing musical number I've ever seen exists.
Let us entertain you. Let us make you smile.
Oh.
Reverse the tide.
Oh God.
We'll make you feel good. We want your spirits.
Make it stop, please. What did I do wrong? Like, is that not awful? Is that not horrifying? Elves are entertainers in this world, and they are actually forced to entertain. But Slannon doesn't want to be an entertainer or a slave. Valid.
I want to be a lawyer.
He wants to be a lawyer.
I guess that would be in small claims court.
What is that?
So he goes with Ella to meet Sir Edgar about stopping slavery, because I'm sure that will work. Ella and Slannon eventually run into the ogres. And I have to say, the visual choices made in this movie on these ogres are definitely something. Bald with blue head. Why?
Big mistake here. See?
Oh my God. Look at that butt crack. Does he not feel the breeze down there? He desperately needs to pull his pants up. I never want to see a butt crack like that again. Then why is blue coming out of their butt? Why did they have to like, this was like a choice. This was a strong choice. They're like, no, they're gonna love the ogre butt crack. It's gonna be so funny. Okay, well, I don't like it. I don't like it. Looking like a fool with your pants on the ground. When I was 7 and I watched it, did I probably laugh my ass off? Yeah. Because it probably reminded me a little bit of my dad. Times have changed, and my humor is much more mature. Ella's about to be eaten by ogres when the prince comes and saves her, of course. Now the prince is in the group with them. See what I'm saying? Dungeons and Dragons. They go to a tavern in Giantsville, and unfortunately Ella has no luck finding Lucinda.
Looks like she's getting an FWI, flying while intoxicated.
See, I was ready to give Lucinda the benefit of the doubt. You don't like kids and you chose a job that was only working with kids? Fine. Maybe there was a job crisis going on. But I draw the line at flying irresponsibly. She could have killed someone, man. Lucinda's a real shitbag. And the way they made giants in this movie, they're just all on a green screen and huge.
I should have said giant.
They didn't even line up the talking scenes correctly.
It's fine. Never mind.
They were just like, fuck it, they're 7, they won't notice. Yeah, well, I'm 27. 28. And I noticed. Have some respect for the old fart bags watching this movie, okay? And the costumes for the giants are even more like, what time period am I in? All the men are just wearing a puffy shirt and a vest, and it's like, yeah, that's time period. And then there's just a giant wearing a sequin dress. What the men are wearing too is so not time period, but I think it's more time period because I know nothing about men's fashion. But at least like the men aren't wearing sequins. And oh yeah, Heidi Klum is a giant. So that's somebody's fantasy right there. They made this movie just so they could make a giant Heidi Klum fall in love with a very tiny man and live out their fucking dreams. It's giving Donkey and Dragon a little bit. These were the times when love knew no bounds. Speaking of love, I really love Prince Char in this movie. What did I expect? They made him a prince for a reason, like you're supposed to fall in love with him. I get it, shut up. But I feel like whenever he commanded Ella to do something, he would be like, wait, this isn't like you. I actually don't like when you follow my orders. I wasn't being serious.
You have to stay for the party.
Okay, I'll stay.
And he says this one thing that every girl wants to hear.
I don't want to make you do anything you don't want to do.
You say that to me and I'm jumping your bones.
Kiss me. That wasn't an order, you know.
I'm gnawing at the iron bars of my enclosure.
I don't know, guys. I love watching two hot people kiss. Anybody else? Just me, or does anybody else love watching two hot people kiss? They make their way to the kingdom, and Ella finally meets Sir Edgar.
Ella, this is my Uncle Edgar.
Unfortunately, Edgar hears about Ella turning Prince Char woke. This is not what he wants. Remember? The slavery thing? So he finds out Ella's secret by telling Olive that she could marry the prince if they got rid of Ella. And Prince Char, who is really smitten with Ella, decides that he is going to propose to her after knowing her for like 3 minutes. But you know what? This is the medieval times, so that's normal there. And at Brigham Young University. Anyways, Edgar is evil. He forces Ella to shake ass in front of him.
Shake your booty, shake your booty.
At the stroke of midnight, she's gonna kill Prince Char with a dagger. So yeah, he's like really bad now. And also, an ogre didn't kill the king. It was actually Sir Edgar.
Kill your own nephew?
But why not? I killed my own brother.
Shocking. What did I say? How many white men have killed royalty? This was never about ogres. In response to this, because she can't tell anybody, she just chains herself up to a tree far away from the kingdom. And then Lucinda shows up. You know what? Fine, we'll go with it. But it's a pretty wild thing to happen after they spend the entire movie trying to look for her. I'm just saying. Lucinda. What an evil, manipulating, little conniving fairy.
I need you to take the gift back.
Take it back? I don't think so.
Lucinda doesn't give a fuck about Ella asking her to break the curse.
You don't like my gift? Fine. Get rid of it yourself. Don't blame me for your problems.
Excuse me? You literally caused all of these problems. What do you mean? She's about to go commit murder because of you. Like, how could you see this is not a good gift? This bitch really pissed me off. Then she removes the chains from the tree because, you know, she's so helpful, and turns her into a beautiful lady in a white dress.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
It's a fairy godmother the night of the ball. I just got that. I'm a little embarrassed to say that that just clicked for me. It's really easy to forget that this is a Cinderella story. But instead of turning her carriage into a pumpkin at the stroke of midnight, she just turns into a convicted felon. So she gets to the ball and they profess their love for each other. But you know, Prince Char is gonna die, which is terrible, but inevitable. You can see her restraining her order. And then this happens.
What's inside you is stronger than any spell.
Oh, that's disturbing. I knew that would come back.
You will no longer be obedient!
What? Wait, what? You're just telling me this whole time she could have just told herself not to follow orders, and that's how she would have gotten out of all of this? 'Cause that's all she had to do? She's gone her whole life not trying that? I'm glad she figured it out before she committed murder. That's crazy, right? I feel like they could have come up with something better than that. It seems like a cop-out. All she had to say was, you will no longer be obedient, and it worked. Before even trying that, she chained herself to a tree. Also, her mom could have said that to her. I don't know, at any time she was alive, she could have done that. Meanwhile, all of the elves and some giants, Heidi Klum, all work to get Ella out to save her and to save Prince Char because he's about to get poisoned. Sir Edgar actually poisoned the crown that Prince Char is going to put on during the coronation. And you can tell this because of the toxic green fog coming from the crown. They don't make it very subtle. Like, nobody's gonna say anything about that. There's green fog coming from that crown. I mean, if it doesn't kill him, it's at least gonna give him some diabolical hair loss. Ella and the gang break into the coronation, and they just have a normal sword fight. You know, just a normal medieval sword fight.
Oh my God!
You know, that would happen in one of these kingdom type movies. Nothing out of the ordinary. And then, oops. Sir Edgar is a dumb fuck who puts the crown on his head and dies. And Char just sees his uncle's lifeless body and then immediately starts eye-fucking Ella.
Saved my life.
Like, at least get the dead body out of there, damn. And then all of them live happily ever after. And then they do a dance number, aka a curtain call. Because I know a theater nerd made this. I don't even need to look it up. So yeah, Ella Enchanted is like a crazy fever dream, but I absolutely love it. It's stupid, it's chaotic, and it made me feel things. And it also has ogre butt crack. If you liked this video, let me know in the comments. And if you like my new bangs, you know, just let me know. Cut them real short this time. Okay, love you, subscribe, bye! Okay.